Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and we're live this morning at the HCCTV studios. Good to have you with us on this Wednesday, February the 7th. Where is this semester is going by very quickly. Joining me once again on Up to the Minute. Good to see you're back. My co-host this morning, Andrea Bonner, chair of HCC's Consumer Arts and Sciences Center of Excellence. Good to see you, Andrea.
Good morning, Todd.
And you're going to be joining us now on a regular basis as we welcome your former show, HCC's Lifestyle and Culture, which is now on Up to the Minute.
I'm excited about that. Really, thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to it. Want to also thank everyone watching us live this morning. We are, of course, live every Monday through Friday, most of the time when HCC is in session, live at 10 a.m. And Andrea, they can also catch us anytime in social media and on our cable channel.
Absolutely. We're live on the HCC Community College District Facebook page, not HCC and YouTube, not HCC, also on YouTube. We're also on X, LinkedIn, and on HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. So there's no excuse not to find us.
That's right. Watch us anytime. All right. You've got a special guest coming up in just a moment, but we're also, I hate to say it, but we're in tax season. Yep, tax season again. Time to get your taxes done. And HCC's got a way to help our faculty, our staff, and most importantly, our students. Ronald Desbrow joins us. He is an adjunct instructor and accounting advisory board faculty and member. Good to see you, Ronald. Thanks for being here on the show. Well, I think your microphone's muted. There we go.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, good to see you this morning. I know you guys got some events coming up where students, faculty, and staff can get a head start on their taxes, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to talk to you and hear all about that shortly. I'll be with you in about 10 minutes. But right now, proud to introduce HCC's Lifestyle and Culture.
Thanks, Todd, and everyone for welcoming us in this new home for HCC Lifestyle and Culture. We're always glad to be guests on Up to the Minute. I am excited to welcome today Chef Mariah Scott, who's an instructor for HCC Culinary Arts department. She's also a former contestant on Next Level Chef. So let's get into today's conversation. Chef Mariah, you're still fairly new to HCC. This is your second semester. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you got here.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here today. So thank you for having me. Yes, I am new. This is my second semester here at HCC, but it's not unfamiliar. I'm actually a former student and an alumni from the program, the Culinary Arts program here. So it's actually full circle for me. While I attended HCC as a student, actually a little bit about my background, I remember actually one day going to go get my knife sharpened after school, and I went to Williams-Sonoma and to get my knife sharpened. For those who aren't familiar, it's like a houseware, very high-end, luxury, high-end houseware store. And while there, I started chatting with some of the employees, and they were telling me that they were looking for a chef to teach cooking classes. And so they offered me the position. And throughout my time at HCC, I actually was working in culinary arts while I was a student. From that point, I actually received my first private chef client when I was a student and worked for that family for 2.5 years throughout my whole entire student life at HCC. And so I started working in the industry as a student, graduated from the program, and went on to do some amazing things with different chefs. I traveled extensively working as a chef, working under my mentor, Iron Chef Kat Cora, who was amazing. So yeah, HCC has really set the foundation for my culinary arts career.
Well, we are so excited to have you, and I'm so glad we didn't run you off after the first semester. But a lot of people know you outside of HCC because you did a stint on reality TV. So tell us a little bit about that and what that was like.
Oh my goodness, reality TV. What was I thinking about? It was probably it was the most challenging thing I've done in my life, probably up until this point. Um, yeah, so I was on the Next Level Chef, which is Gordon Ramsay's one of his newest cooking competitions. And I was actually a finalist. So I was one of the top two from the season one. So y'all can check that out. It's on Hulu. And it was just an incredible experience, working under pressure, working the line, being critiqued by this world-renowned chef. So yes, it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. But you did well. So that's really great. And we're glad to have you here to share that experience with the students as well. So now you're working in the department. How has that been? And you have to say it's been wonderful because you just have to.
It has been wonderful. It has. It's been a roller coaster ride, but that's to be expected. Being a chef, you have your highs, you have your lows. So being an instructor, that's just part of the job. And being able to speak from a place of being a student and now being able to inspire future students and future chefs is a great opportunity. And I'm so honored actually to even be a part of the culinary arts team. I am a product of the degree program, and to be able to share my stories with students to motivate and encourage them has been one of my greatest, for the last 2 semesters has been pretty awesome.
Well, they really love you, so we're happy to have you here. So we're spotlighting the program today, culinary program. Tell us a little bit about the department, and like if a student were to come here, what degrees and certifications could they get in the program?
Yes, so with the culinary arts and pastry arts, they actually offer a few different degrees that you can obtain. One is the associate's degree, which is offered in both the culinary arts program and the pastry arts, of where you can receive your 2-year associate's degree. If you want to start off a little slow, we also offer the C1 certificate, which is an entry-level certificate. And that's offered in both pastry arts and culinary arts, and also a C2 certification, which is more so for when you go out into the field and want more of a leadership role. So there's 3 different ways that you can go.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Well, another great thing about our program is that we're an accredited program. So that's one thing that students look for when they're choosing, where to go. And tell us a little bit about the American Culinary Federation accreditation that we have. And we actually have an upcoming site visit. As soon as I get done with this, I'm going over to meet about that coming up next month. So tell us a little bit about that ACF accreditation.
Yeah, so actually, that's one of the reasons why I chose to attend HCC, was because it was ACF certified or accredited, excuse me, which is really important. The ACF, which is the American Culinary Federation, is the largest professional chefs organization. And so their role is they visit different culinary schools throughout the country to ensure that they are meeting the standards of the program with safety and sanitation, making sure our equipment is up to date. The ACF will go around and interview students, the professors, take a look at our facilities, and just to ensure that we're meeting the standards for the organization. So we're really excited, actually. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, it's going to be a lot to deal with the next month, but as you accredited, and it helps us to market the programs to students. I don't want us to run out of time. I'm going to jump ahead, and if we have time, we'll go back to one of the other questions. I wanted to talk about the a la carte classes that we have each Thursday, and we serve lunch to the public, lunch and dinner. So you teach that class. Tell us a little bit more about that and how people might be able to take advantage.
Absolutely. Thursdays, we have our a la carte class. This semester, we are offering both lunch and dinner. It is a class that is run by students. I curate the menus on a weekly basis, and the public has the opportunity to come and dine and to be served by HCC students. They work front of house, back of house. It is a 6-course fine dining opportunity. We post the menus weekly, and we invite everybody to come out and experience an amazing meal, and also help to support the culinary arts program. And you
That
can find actually all the details in a link on HCC at the ID Loom link.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, I don't know that we're going to be able to cover everything else, but we moved into the new culinary building in January of 2020, right before the pandemic hit. And we're able to come back later that year, but it's a wonderful building, beautiful building. It's got Chef Mariah and all the other wonderful faculty there. So we're so excited to be in that building. One last thing, maybe you can talk about, we are growing and we have a couple of new labs that will be built out this year.
Super excited. 2 new labs that'll be ready for the fall semester. However, we do have classes throughout the whole entire year that are starting. Looking forward to summer semester as well. But yes, this fall we have 2 brand new labs that are going to be upstairs in our culinary arts. One is dedicated to the culinary department and one for the pastry arts department. So we're going to have a lot of new classes, hopefully coming up here shortly once those labs are complete.
Well, that is exciting. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. We've already outgrown the building, but we're looking forward to growing, adding new classes, maybe doing some continued education classes and all of those great things. So thank you to Chef Mariah Scott, who is HCC Culinary Arts instructor, former Next Level Chef contestant, and we'll have your information in our post after the show.
Thank you, Andrea, so much for having me. Thank you all.
All right, thank you both. And another important subject, as I mentioned at the top of the show, it's tax season, and HCC's got a solution for you to get your taxes done if you're a faculty, staff, or student. Ronald Desbrow has joined us now. He's an HCC adjunct instructor and accounting advisory board faculty member. Welcome to the show, Ronald.
Thank you, Todd. Glad to be here.
So first and foremost, I know we're going to get to exactly the what will happen at these events you're having, but let's talk about the 2 upcoming events. Where and when will they be held?
Well, right now we've got it scheduled for February 27th, and that's going to be at the East Side campus, and it's at 6815 Rustic. And on Thursday is going to be at the Central campus downtown, and the address there is 1300 Holman.
Okay. Now, is it first come, first served? Do you have to register ahead of time? How does it work to get your taxes done with the profession?
Okay, that's a good point. The financial aid department is setting up appointments, and we're going to be there from 9:30 to 3:30, but the last appointment is going to be at 2:30. So it's very important that the student or faculty or staff contact the financial aid department to set up that appointment for us.
And okay, so get your appointment ahead of time. What exactly will you be doing for the people who are coming to these events and have an appointment with you?
Well, first of all, we started this HCC AARP tax aid almost 10 years ago. And I started it with HCC because I was a faculty member there. And so since then, we've been doing this except during the COVID years. We had to take a break because no one was on campus and so forth. So we have started it back up last year. And what we do is actually prepare the tax returns for the faculty, staff, or students, and especially foreign students, because we get a lot of foreign students, and we can actually do the 1040s along with the 1040 NRs as well.
And this is a free service that's completely the students, faculty, and staff are welcome to sign up, and there's no charge for this. Is that right?
No, no. This is a voluntary process that we do with the community as well as HCC, and all our services are free. We have probably over 100 volunteers in our just in our area, our little district, and they're highly trained to prepare tax returns.
And are there income guidelines that you have to follow in order to get these services?
Yes, you have to remember that our AARP tax aid does the low income elderly taxpayers, and we get a lot of students as well. So we do have a dollar threshold of $200,000 of adjusted gross income, because when you start exceeding that, you have other taxes that are imposed. And so we want to keep it on a simple basis where these taxpayers cannot afford a tax preparer out there. So we do it for them.
Obviously, you want to make sure you have all your documents with you. What should you be prepared to bring with you for these appointments?
Well, the first thing is if it's anything tax related, bring it in here. Especially the W-2s, any 1099s. If you're self-employed, bring in any documents you have along with your expenses. Or if you've got the marketplace insurance, you want to bring in that 1095A so we can possibly get you some more credit in there. So there's some things that we can't do. It's more complicated tax returns.
So in complicated meaning, what exactly should be a red flag if you think that well, this service may not work for me?
Yeah, one red flag is if you have a Schedule C business and you're exceeding $35,000 of expenses, then you need to go to a professional preparer. Also, if you have any complicated capital gains, we can do simple stocks and bonds, but if you have any futures or options or things like that, we can't do it. And then if you have any depreciation of anything on your business, we can't do it. Or if you have employees or inventory, we can't do it. So you think of it as being more of a simple type of a Uber driver or a DoorDash driver. We can do those.
You know, what amazes me nowadays is how quickly you can get your taxes done, but then get a refund. It used to be back in the day, you know, you'd mail everything off to the government and, you know, you'll get your tax return when you get it. You know, now it's pretty quick. And there's some services, from what I understand, that'll kind of front you the money when they know you're getting it.
Yes. First thing we do electronically file. We have a partnership with IRS. And they give us grants to have this service, and we have to e-file unless there's an exception to it. So that's the most important thing is to e-file. To get your refund, it's taking about 7 to 10 business days. They do put a little hold on it if you have earned income credit or the advanced child tax credit. That's not going to be starting process till February 15th.
Are there certain savings or areas that students would get a break on their taxes that they're unaware of that you try to educate them on?
Oh, sure. The most important thing would be the educational credits that students can get. There is American Opportunity Credit, which gives about up to $2,500 of a refund. And so we look for that. They need to bring in that 1098T form, though, from the school. HCC does not mail that out to them. They have to go onto their account to pull that document off. But that's very important to get you that credit for the education.
How long how long does each appointment take? Is there a ballpark? Do you plan for half an hour, 15, 20 minutes? What is the usual time when you're working with students or faculty and staff?
Yeah, I would say plan on at least an hour. Because it takes us about 45 minutes to prepare the return. And we have a process where we have to do a quality review. Somebody else actually has to go through and verify everything that we did before. So it takes 2 people to look at that document. So when you walk out, you've got an accurate tax return. And I would say plan on an hour to 2 hours just to be on the safe side.
Once again, we're talking with Ronald Desbrow. He's an HCC adjunct instructor and accounting and advisory board faculty member. And also, you're going to be out there on our tax days. Once again, the events are February the 27th and February 29th. East Side campus is the first one. And then the next day or 2 days later, they'll be at the Central campus, 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And as you mentioned, Ronald, you need to make an appointment ahead of time.
That's correct. Thanks.
So now's the time to do it. Ronald, we appreciate you joining us on the show this morning. We'll have all this information in our social media post after the show.
Okay. Thank you for having me, Todd.
All right. Thank you. All right, Andrea, we've got a few announcements before we wrap up the show. One of them, Recipes for Success, they're virtual workshops. HCC's Academic Success Centers will host virtual workshops to learn study strategies, forming helpful academic habits, and more. Coming up, 11 a.m. today, Wednesday, February the 7th, Remembering What You Read. Something I think all of us can benefit from. And then 5 p.m. Monday, February 12th, Metacognition, Learn How to Learn. something I think all of us could probably use a brush up on as well. Check our post after the show. These are virtual sessions and you can tune in from anywhere. We've also got Black Excellence Expressed as well.
Yeah, Black Excellence Express. There's $100 art contest. In celebration of Black History Month, the Office of Student Life is going to present Black Excellence Express. That's kind of a tongue twister. $100 fine arts contest, and it's open to all students. They are encouraged to share their gifts commemorating Black history or the community through song, poetry, or the visual arts. The deadline to submit any original artwork is Tuesday, February 20th. And again, we'll have that information after the show.
Another thing we've talked about several times here on Up to the Minute. In fact, we've had Jenny on the show many times. Her film Acid Test, an award-winning short film by faculty filmmaking member Jenny Waldo, is available to watch at HCC. The short was screened at film festivals around the world, including the Austin Film Festival, and was made into a feature film. There's an artist reception, 6 p.m. Friday, February the 23rd, and the exhibition itself is going on now through April the 5th. Check it out at HCC's Northwest Spring Branch Main Gallery. We'll have some information in our post after the show. There's no need to register ahead of time. Just show up, see it, and also try to check out the artist reception. We've also got spring faculty exhibitions as well.
Yes, it's system-wide. And I know, Jenny, I'm going to have to go check that out. I wasn't familiar with that. But our spring faculty exhibition, speaking of this faculty exhibition, the Media, Visual, and Performing Arts Center of Excellence is excited to announce the Spring 2024 faculty exhibitions. Various galleries across the district are celebrating masterpieces created by HCC's own amazing, and I know all of them, visual arts faculty. So now through March, April, and May, depending on the artist. Exhibitions and receptions vary by campus. The most important thing is they are free and you don't have to register. So again, check out our post after the show for more information.
If you're planning on attending HCC, you do need to check out our enrollment sessions. Now you can check them out virtually. Enroll in college is a big step, and HCC is here to support students with virtual information sessions for admissions advisors to provide guidance on everything from applications, financial aid, career pathways, international advising, and much more. Check our show after the check our post after the show for all the information there. And it's hard to believe, Andrea, we've got Second Start just around the corner.
Starting next week, we were just, looking at numbers for that yesterday. So HCC 16-week classes have begun, but Second Start classes begin on February 12th, and all courses are either in person, online, or hybrid. So you've got a variation of ways you can attend, whether it's online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid, in person, which again is always my favorite, hybrid lab. But to learn more about all of the programs, the start dates, and options to cover costs, you can go to hccs.edu/apply. Of course, I have to put my plug in for our programs. February 12th, you guys come and enroll in any of the consumer arts classes, as well as all classes, of course.
And I know a lot of those classes, especially the in-person, which I know a number of yours are, they fill up quickly as well.
Yeah, they fill up really quickly. I always tell students, as soon as registration opens, jump on those classes. You can also, if you can't pay right away, HCC is great about doing payment arrangements, but jump on that.
Well, once again, we'll have the hccs.edu/apply. We'll have information in our post after the show. We'll discuss tomorrow an upcoming mentoring session for HCC students who may still be exploring majors and might want to consider health sciences. So check that out. And it's Thursday Family Fun Day. The Asia Society returns to talk about the Lunar New Year, which is coming up, I believe, this weekend. It's pretty cool. A lot going on. So this is the year of the dragon too, Andrea.
That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So yeah.
And we've got a lot going on around the city. And so make sure you celebrate. All right. Good to have you back on the show again.
Thank you for hosting HCC Lifestyle and Culture. We're glad to be here.
Yeah. We'll see you next time. This is going to be a regular thing on the show. Hey, folks, thanks for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow. Actually, I'm off tomorrow. I'll be back on Friday. Shardae's here tomorrow. Up to the Minute. We're live at 10 a.m. See you then.